Thanks for downloading us. This is Breaking Nashville. My name is Jon Watkins, and today it's exciting because it's been about 10 years since the last time we've seen her perform. Krystal Keith, that's Toby Keith's daughter, joins us on Breaking Nashville. I got to know if you're still riding the high from your Grand Ole Opry debut just a few weeks ago.
Oh, Lord. It's been a wild few months. I've got a lot of really awesome stuff going on, and that was definitely the highlight of my summer. So, yeah, I'm still I still look back at pictures and get a little nervous every time I think about it.
How does that work? How do you even find out that you're going to be a part of the Grand Ole Opry? Do you get an email, a certified letter, or does someone just pick up the phone and call you?
I believe that my management got a phone call. So my management spoke with them, and then they called me and told me. So I got a phone call. I don't know how the Grand Ole Opry called us, but my management team called me.
Do you know if there's like a checklist for them? Are they looking for certain specific things with an artist before they walk up on stage that you had to hit before they could even make the call to your manager?
I don't know what their criteria is, but if you look at the list of legends that have come on there, you'd think that they'd have some sort of criteria, and I hope that, obviously, I got a call, so, I think anybody that's having an impact in country music and anybody that they see coming up that could have an impact in country music, that's kind of who I've seen on there is, as far as being a fan of music and a fan of the Grand Ole Opry and listening to the show each week. I think, it's always been people that are either creating a big buzz in country or have already become established.
Now, was your band allowed to play with you, or did you have to use the house band?
I got to bring two of my own musicians with me in my own band. So I brought my bass player, who's also my band leader, and one of my guitar players, and both of them were in the original band that I put together several years back. So they've been with me since the beginning.
After like a Saturday Night Live episode, there's a huge cast party every week with whoever's there, hosting and their friends and family. Is it the same way with the Grand Ole Opry? After you perform, do they have a big party where those performers that week get to kind of bring their friends?
There's kind of a hallway hang. We each have our own dressing rooms, and then after I got off, I went back and put my stuff together and watched. Jeannie Seeley was there, so I watched part of her show, and the Henningsons were there, so I watched part of theirs. But we kind of ended up just hanging out in the hallway with everyone and taking pictures and hanging out. So it's kind of like a little mini after party that we kind of put together ourselves.
There's no secret that you're not around big-time country singers often. Do you get starstruck, or does it seem just normal to you?
I do. It depends. It's more with people that are legends to me. So it's not as much starstruck as it is like a legend struck. I don't really get giddy at like award shows where, my peers are there and they're all stars in their own right. And, it's more when I see people like Merle Haggard, I get really excited because I want to talk to him and I want to hear the stories. And he and my dad always end up talking for hours and just hearing stories and being a part of that and getting to be a fly on the wall is pretty phenomenal for me. So I get more excited about the experience of hearing the stories and being there for that than I do just because they're a celebrity or a star. So it's really just with the legends, but I do get a little bit starstruck with them.
Obviously, country music, you've been growing up listening to it your entire life, but were there any other types of music that you listened to when you were young that inspired you or made you who you are as an artist?
Well, yeah, I grew up on such an eclectic blend of music. My dad had so much music going on in the house, from rock to blues to a little bit of everything. And, even today I'll get him on some Bruno Mars and make him listen to it. So, He'll listen to just about anything as long as it's good, and he loves Alanis Morissette stuff, just because her lyrics are so clever. So, yeah, I grew up on a little bit of everything. I went through my Hanson phase. I went through my NSYNC phase. I certainly grew up in the 90s and had all of that. But I listened to hip-hop. I listened to R&B, blues, bluegrass, folk. I listened to just about everything.
So did you know it was country that you wanted to go into, or did you think, maybe it's pop?
Oh, no, it was always country. That's where my roots are. And that's where my heart is. And country really, has a blend of so many genres. That blues has kind of come into country, and that southern rock, rock has come into it. So you get to do a lot with country music. And I'm certainly not pop. I have far too much old school country influence to go too far pop, but I do have some more mainstream country songs on my album. I've got some of that blues, some of that rock. I really love the phases that country music has gone through, and I really have been inspired by a lot of that. So my album, I wanted to be really eclectic. So you get a little bit of all of those phases on the album. So it was definitely always country for me.
Talk about the phases. So obviously everywhere you turn, every country radio trade out there right now will not stop using the term bro country. You're an artist, you're in it, you live with these people who are writing these tunes. Do you see this phase? Do you feel it, or do you just see it as just the evolution of country music?
I see it, certainly. I mean, anything, country is going to evolve. It has always evolved, and each new generation is going to do something that the last generation thinks is crazy. And, 3 generations back are totally not going to understand it. But, really anything that's good for country music and draws fans and keeps the country music industry alive, I'm a fan of. If it lasts forever and becomes the new country, then that will just have to be what the new country becomes. My roots are so in Patsy Cline and Willie Nelson and Merle Haggard that, I don't see myself going into that. Not that I wouldn't collaborate into it, but I don't see myself stylistically evolving into that. But, if that's what country music fans are wanting right now and it's building an audience, then then it can't be anything but good. And country will certainly evolve in and out of the phases as we keep going.
When did you actually make that decision where you said, okay, you know what, I am going to be a country singer. This is what I've decided to do for my life?
I never made that decision. It really just always was. So if I had to pick an age, it would probably be around 3. I really just, I always wanted to be on stage. I always entertained people at my house. I was always singing. My sister said that she had to learn how to sing harmony because I have such a big voice and I sing, it was always the joke in high school that I don't really need, don't even give her a mic. She doesn't need one. I do have a big voice and I can project it pretty far. So I would sing really loud in the car, and my sister would get so frustrated because she couldn't hear herself. So she started learning to sing harmony just so she could hear herself over me, and she always jokes that was far before I knew how to sing well. So I always loved singing and loved entertaining. So it was something that was always going to be in my future, whether I did it as a profession or I was just a local karaoke star.
I'm shocked that you said that, because one of the questions I wanted to ask you was if you ever just look around and you go, man, I'm burnt out on this industry and these people. I've been in it my whole life.
Never. No. I've kind of been a student of the industry my entire life, knowing that I wanted to go into it, knowing that someday I would. Every opportunity I had to be in the studio, watching my dad or other musicians play and sing and record, and then every opportunity I had to stand side stage and watch a performance or go to a concert as a fan. I couldn't just go to a concert and enjoy it and be entertained. I was analyzing everything and taking from it